What's up, you guys? Sorry about the wind. As I said before, my purple panda mic and cat head got lost. We are at a turtle tortuga sanctuary in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Well, we're right outside Puerto Vallarta, and this place is 100% incubation with the sea turtles. They protect them, they take care of them, and then they release them throughout the year. And we got basically invited through a social program to come out, and they don't charge for it, and they educate you, and they rely on tips and donations. And you know, these are all the people that wait here. And then what they do is they set up the sand. They wait for the sun to go down a little bit because there's these birds right there, these huge birds that come down, and they're looking for these turtles, and they eat them. So once the light drops and these birds don't have good vision, that's when the kids get to release baby sea turtles by hand. So they are just about done, and today we are like the only English/American family here. Everyone else is Spanish. Here she comes. All right, here we go. Check that out.
Baby turtle. Try to just stand up and this thing will fall, so just stand up. Pretty cute, huh?
Yeah.
So these guys surface today. Everything that hatches today, he's got some over there now too. Everything that hatches today has to go to the bay today. The nests that you see right now with the tops on top of them,
Yeah.
those are what these two groups of babies have come out of. Okay? We've got the covers on the top. Now normally and during high season, that nest will come up and be active and done in about 45 minutes. Right now it'll take 2 or 3 days because it's cold and slower.
Yeah.
So as the baby sea turtle develops, the last thing to develop on it and suck up is its little yolk. So each little sea turtle baby, just like you and I, has a belly button.
Hey, Squirt.
Little belly button.
Oh, so cute.
And I can feel them breathing. I can feel his lungs expanding.
Shelby, your favorite.
Really big lungs. Okay? And the lungs right up underneath here on the shell. When sea turtles are swimming through the ocean, they have to come up and take a breath about every 15 minutes. It's called filling their lungs. But at the end of the day, when they're done and they've had enough, they fill their lungs several breaths. And then when they sink down to the bottom, they can slow their respiration enough where their heart only beats once every 8 minutes. Can you imagine? We would be so calm and so comfortable that we could relax our system and our heart only beat once every 8 minutes. And then after that, they're able to stay down on the floor of the sea for 3 up to 4 hours before they need to resurface again and take a breath. When the babies start making the journey to the sea, sometimes when they're in here, we'll see them kind of turn their head to the side and look like they're making an arch, and they're actually using that to fill up those lung cavities, opening up this area behind their shoulders to use, which is filling that lung. Baby sea turtles, their shell is not hard when they lay it. It's a thick membrane, so it's kind of jiggly. It's not a hard shell, but still, to get out of that after the 45-day incubation period of time, they have a little false tooth on their nose. And that will wear off, and it'll just become nothing. He's getting his air bubble in there. I can see the bottom of his throat. He's taking in good breaths of air. You can see his boy is wanting to swim, isn't he funny?
It's like you put a battery in him.
That's it. Eyelids, they close like this, like shower doors. Okay. The flippers on the front half, about halfway down, you see they have a claw. And it's like keratin. See, it's just like a little tiny nail. but it's actually like a horn or a tusk, and it's extremely
Once I
strong.
went to this place and they had one turtle that was huge, and they think it's 20 or 30. It's so huge. It's almost 100 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Turtles live a really, really long time, and that's one of the mysteries and the wonderful things about sea turtles. And they know now, too, that there were dinosaur sea turtles at one time that were bigger than our biggest known sea turtle currently is the leatherback. And he's about as maybe shell size and total sea turtle, about the size of a man, a human man. But they know that there were prehistoric ones that were much, much bigger at one time. So we'd like to say that sea turtles didn't need to jump on the ark when Noah made the ark, when another cataclysmic event happened on our planet. But this is the species we have now. 6 of 7 sea turtles, 7 species of sea turtles do mate and lay in Mexico and on the Mexican shores. Some in the Gulf, some out here on the Pacific. My guess is that these are boy sea turtles. A little bit of a size difference there.
When you pet their shell, do they feel it?
Yes, they do. Their spine is right into their shell. It's all a part of it. And then their ribs come out from there at each one of the points on their back. Their shell is hard because when they have to crawl up out of that sand, it's about a whole arm's length. So when they come up to the top, they're pretty well dry. Some of these guys are a little bit damper, and that's because we put seawater on them a little bit earlier today because they hatched. We don't want their shells to dry out and have any damage. These guys crawled up just here a little bit ago. They haven't had any water yet on them. And they'll be running to the sea here in just a little bit. Hi.
They look like they're flying.
Good little babe. Good little
What's the full name of the location here, like on your shirt? It's
Campamento Tortuguero Boca de Tomates in
Thank you.
Jalisco, Mexico.
It feels like their eyes are closed, but they're open.
I know.
Georgie, take a look, Mom.
They say that they are translucent and that they can see a little bit as they're going through. And as you can see on the sea turtle, he doesn't have any external ears. A sea turtle has a single bone apparatus and then very thin skin. So it truly is about the vibe for the sea turtle. As you can see, when I turn this one away, he's trying to turn his head. That's the way he likes to go. You can see the difference in the flipper action and everything. It's just natural navigation.
Look, he's ready to swim.
He is ready to swim. Some sea turtles, when they walk to the sea, this species, they alternate when they walk to the sea. Some species, like the leatherback, they go with both of their flippers. Their bodies are heavy. They have to lift their entire body up off. These guys, they could go on their tiptoes pretty good and scamper along. When they hit that water tonight, they're going to swim hopefully for about 24 hours. We want them to find a nice piece of seagrass or carpet that's great, that's got a lot of wonderful organisms and things for them to eat and thrive on until they can get somewhere out in the trade winds and find a place to hide.
They're trying to get out.
I know. Do you see how most of them are in that corner?
They're in the corner so they can try to escape.
Now when I move it, they'll all go and start that way. They hear the sound of the waves.
Oh, yeah, I see.
They're drawn to it.
They know what they have to do. Yeah.
They basically don't belong here. They know that. Like, I don't belong here. I gotta get back to those. It's such
Yep.
a cool instinct.
So
to be
tonight, the volunteers, after they go out and do their patrols, they'll also come back. Any of the babies, they'll do a fitness check. Those babies will go to the sea. This is the only release we do here in front of camp. Any other babies that hatch tonight are distributed along our area. We don't want to create a feeding ground out in the sea. Just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. We have to think beyond our flippin' selves. So we've talked a lot about different things. Everybody has certainly made one life change. Sadly, they now say there's about 2 billion face panties that are out in our sea. So I hope that I don't ever hear a biologist or an activist talk about all of that ever again when safety and plastic bottles, because they've all advocated for face panties, and I think it's a complete disgrace. We pick up hundreds here along the beach. We have to ask people for their own safety to go ahead and do that, but we are leaving it up to the individual and the individual volunteers. We like keeping our distance a little bit more than the other because all trash is trash.